And
Jendranji, somebody hacked our Zoom. Okay. It's not. Ruby, you can go ahead. I think let us.
Or sir, should we wait because the new link generated mentions the time it starts with at 7:15. So it's 7:09. So should we wait others to join, or we can proceed as you say?
Actually, sir, we can start because there was no time gap in this meeting. It was saying 7:15, 7:30 like this. So this
Okay.
recording is in progress, so we can share it later. So
Yeah.
people can join later on.
Okay, sir. So I'm proceeding. Fine, sir. May I?
Yeah, please go ahead, please.
Okay. Good evening, all dignitaries and aspiring researchers. I am Ruby Siddiqui, research scholar at Discipline of Geology, School of Science, IGNOU, New Delhi. On behalf of Geological Society of India, Delhi chapter, I am honored to welcome you all on the talk about research funding opportunities from DST SERB, being addressed by Dr. S.K. Varshney, Advisor and Head International Corporation, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. As researchers, we all must agree on our role is imperative for societal development in many forms. Knowledge is created through research. This knowledge, when adopted, helps in solving or alleviating constraints to development. It as well enables new opportunities for development to be explored. Indeed, it pushes overall prosperity of any country. In today's world, the role of science and technology is indispensable. We need it in every sphere of our life, from treating disease to even booking a. In fact, without technology integrated with science, we cannot even imagine our life. But unfortunately, there are many obstacles in carrying on research, be it lack of effective and meaningful research design at researchers' level, poor infrastructure at institutional level, financial constraints, poor communication, or any kind of resource deficit. All has been hampered effective research activities in our country to a great extent. Department of Science and Technology has been focal for development of country through providing funds for carrying out research in various fields. DST has rendered n number of responsibilities for societal benefited research project. Dr. Varshney is in charge of all related administration. He is a graduate in geology and had been a lecturer in Kurukshetra University and carried out many teaching and research activities there. He had been counselor for Science and Technology Division, Embassy of India, Moscow, and was engaged in promotion of bilateral scientific cooperation between India and Russia. Presently, he is designated Scientist G in Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, and responsible for scientific research. He is an advisor for Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and serving bilateral scientific cooperation of India with partner countries. Dr. Varshney is a prominent name in our research community. He is known for his wonderful administration and being pivotal for making science communicable. Apart from this, he renders selfless service to society and he has influenced life of many researchers. We are honored to have him as speaker for today's session. On behalf of all members of Geological Society of India, Delhi chapter, and every aspiring researcher, I heartily welcome our key speaker, Dr. S.K. Varshney. Now, I cordially invite you, sir, for the talk, and I'm indeed sure that everyone will not only be benefited, but will be inspired too to create wonders in the field of research. You may please proceed, sir, now.
Namaskar to everyone, and thank you, Ruby, not only for my introductions, but also on the importance of research and the challenges being faced by the researcher community. Of course, DST is not addressing to all the challenges you mentioned, but still we are trying our bit how we could help this situation, how we can come out of it, and how we could, through various schemes, provide support to the research community in pursuing their goal. I would also like to thank to Dr. Bhaskar, who invited me for giving this talk. And it is always a pleasure for me to talk to research community and to talk about the schemes, what we have in offer. So today I thought I will tell you something about DST, what we do, who we are and what we do. And then what are the opportunities we are offering at individual level, and what are the opportunities we are offering at institutional level. Now, these opportunities are open in the sense that you could pursue research in your subject, your interest, whatever suits you, whatever opportunity you get to do research. So all our schemes are open. But then there are areas which government has identified which needs to be worked upon, and we are calling them targeted programs. I would also run through some of the other opportunity that department is offering, and then I would like to close this discussions by addressing what are the goals DST has visualized for next 10 years, next 20 years. Hello. So in government, if we see at center, there are a number of scientific departments, and all of them are quite focused. So if you see the department marked in red, they are strategic department, atomic energy, space, and defense research. They do a lot of research, also promote limited extramural research, but most of their research and most of their outcomes, we see only the final products. We are not seeing the intermediate when we generate knowledge and convert that knowledge into products. So besides them, then we have got some other departments like biotechnology, earth sciences, electronics and information technology, health research, which are quite substantially supporting extramural research. But there is a difference. The difference is that all the scientific departments are providing research support in their domain area, which is highly focused. Like earth science will support project in earth sciences, electronics will support projects in electronics, biotechnology will support projects in biotechnology. So who will support basic science? Who will support interdisciplinary science? Who will support multidisciplinary science? Who will support emerging science? So that is where the Department of Science and Technology comes into being. So one, we are responsible in this country to make policies regarding science and technology. What should be the policy? What should be the guidelines? How research should be pursued? How we could ease out the research, pursuance of research, and then we are supporting research in three ways: supporting basic and applied research, supporting multidisciplinary and institutional research, and also supporting creation of infrastructural facility within institutes. As Ruby mentioned earlier in his preamble, that it is not only science, but also conversion of that science into technology, or whatever knowledge we have generated, we need to convert that into technological processes or newer products and take them to market. That is also a role department is playing. Then we have got our own autonomous research institutions like Wadia Research Institutions, like Birbal Sahni Institute, and there are several other institutes. We are promoting international cooperation. We are also looking how science and technology intervention could be for underprivileged society of the country. How those which are on the weaker path could be addressed. Then we are supporting entrepreneurships. We are into science popularization. We are working with various state S&T council. Now, this is something very interesting. Each state has got Science and Technology Council, which is administratively controlled by the state government. But then as a central government, we keep on guiding them that what are the scientific challenges in their area, what they should work upon, and also providing them limited funding. So in a way, we are loosely connected with all state S&T councils. We are also doing scientific surveys and services. I think the most popular of our survey is Survey of India, which provide you topographic maps, basic maps, and there are several services associated with that. And we are also doing MIS for science and technology, which means that we keep a record that how many graduates are produced, how many postgraduate are produced, how many doctorate are produced in a given discipline. Similarly, who is doing research, where it is being done, is it state university, is it central university, is it IIT, ISC, is it NGO, is it private company, or wherever research is being implemented. So we are keeping an eye and providing that service, MIS services on all these aspects. Now, recently, we are working on a new science, technology, and innovation policy, and I have taken some points from there. One thing is that India, I hope you, all of you are aware that we have published a lot of good papers. And currently, as per NSF, India stands number 3 in terms of scientific publications after China and US. As per Scopus data, we are, however, number 5. But this high number, although it is satisfying, but it is lacking in a way that we don't get citation to our paper, which means quality of our paper is not that high. And similarly, when we are doing applied research, we need to be more relevant to the Indian issues, the Indian challenges. So the focus in the vision document is we need to improve quality and relevance of research and development. And for this purpose, we would require translation of research, development of technology, take it from the route of innovation to the market. And what government is thinking, it would be more appropriate if we could connect academia, research laboratory, industries, startup, and small and medium enterprises and government set up together so that they could collectively address an issue in a coordinated manner. And that is how we are proposing not only to improve quality, make it more relevant, but also on its translation. Second thing, what we are looking for is the societal connect. Science must have a human face. Whatever research we are doing should be good for our people, and people should appreciate what kind of science we are doing. Another important thing is that we are addressing in this policy on diversity and inclusion. We are trying to bring in all those who have somewhere missed the bus. So how they could be brought back. There are several schemes for that purpose. And then whatever are the national challenges, they are the scientific priorities. So let us put it very simple. Let us not talk about the buzzwords, but only thing we are saying is whatever are the national challenges, they are the scientific priority. Be it water, energy, environment, health, manufacturing, whatever you say, they are our priorities. Now, Department of Science and Technology has 3 delivery partners. I think most of you are familiar with Science and Engineering Research Board. which will provide lot of opportunity for fellowships and project grants for basic and applied research. Technology Development Board is providing supports to industries, to companies to take up technologies which have been proven at lab scale for their upscaling, for developing products which could eventually be commercialized. And National Entrepreneurship Board is something in between. It is promoting entrepreneurship through the route of incubation. So we are encouraging institutions to develop incubation facility within themselves, within those academic organizations, so that students who have got some ideas and who would like to try their idea, whether they are market worthy or not, could be incubated and eventually supported. Now, coming to the funding opportunities which we are providing to various individuals, I have just tried to list, and I'll briefly touch each one of them. So I think I need not to explain you JRF, SRF, RA. These are the standard terms. DST does not conduct any examinations. We are respecting any national level examination conducted by any organization. So whether it is NTA, whether it is AMD, whether it is DBT or any other atomic energy, so all of them are doing national level examinations. So we appreciate those national level examination, and we are considering them at par with NET, and we are providing fellowship support. These fellowships are part of DST or SERB supported projects, and we are encouraging faculty that each time they submit a project, they must keep some provision for young researchers in those projects. In addition, we are also offering Prime Minister Fellowship. Now, Prime Minister, there are a number of Prime Minister Fellowships offered by DST, offered by Ministry of Education, offered by something else. Now, I would say only about DST scheme. Here, we have partnered with Confederation of Indian Industry, CII. And the idea is that researchers who are doing research good for industries, and industry takes it, then they get double fellowship. So if you are JRF, you get double JRF. If you are SRF, you get double SRF. If you are RA, you get double RA. So each year, what we are doing, that we are selecting ideas from researchers, giving it to CII. CII circulates it to the members, and 100 ideas are picked each year, and this is called Prime Minister Fellowships from DST. Of course, there are other schemes like Ministry of Education is offering to IIT students. That is different. Here we are talking about industry research good for industry. Now, for those of you who have completed PhD and are still unemployed, looking for a placement, we are offering National Postdoctoral Fellowship. This fellowship provides you a stopgap arrangement. This is not a job. This is purely a temporary assignment for a couple of years, and it provides you to develop yourself as an individual researcher. So idea is we'll take a call, quickly provide you a support, and you could go to any organization. The only condition is that you will not be doing this postdoctoral fellowship at a place from where you have done your PhD. So you must explore the newer place and do these fellowships. For students, even if the graduate student, undergraduate student, or master students, if they have an idea which they would like to try for taking it to the market, so DST provides the initial grants. Now, NIDI stands for National Initiative for Development and Harnessing of Innovation. And we are providing a student grant under this program so that students could try their idea. We are also asking students to write their research in common man language. Now, what is happening? Now, first thing I must clear, this is not a scheme. This is just one-time award. Idea is that you should know what kind of work you are doing. And if you could explain it to common man, that is going to improve your power for explaining what kind of research you are doing, what kind of questions you are working upon. So this is another scheme which we are offering. Then many of our researchers who are working in not the premier institutions, but in a places where research facilities are not adequately available. So they have got a lot of research questions, but because they do not have the facilities, they get their research idea get curtailed. So now what we are proposing that if we could provide them some exposure to the national institutions where they could go and pursue their research on the equipments which they are not having in their own institutions and pursue themselves. So what we are providing here, just some money for the relocation and also grant of 5 lakhs for the research expenses. And we have purposely kept it 90 days because presuming your summer break, winter break, and other holidays, hope most of the organization may not agree beyond 90 days. Then for mid-career scientists, we started the Swर्ण Jayanti fellowships, which is in the bracket of 30 to 40 years. And the idea is that if we could promote our young researchers who have got excellent track record, they could be considered for this special award. We are also having fellowship by invitations. So Ramanujam Fellowship is for scientists and engineers who are currently abroad and would like to return to India. And until they get a placement, regular placement, they could be considered on this Ramanujam award. So we are providing them research grants and monthly fellowship of 135,000. JC Bose National Fellowship is given to active scientists and engineers with outstanding performance. And what I have mentioned here, 25,000 rupees, it is additional money, money in addition to their regular salary. Besides, they get a research grant of 15 lakh rupees per annum. Now, JC Bose Fellowship is for 3 years. It is renewable as long as you are active and performing. Then we have got SERB Star. This is to those who have continuously completed 3 projects, at least 3 projects with excellent gradings. And here we are giving them 15,000 rupees. And this is again for those fellows who are not getting any additional fellowships. Like there are several schemes like JC Bose, Raja Ramanna, Academy Fellowship, Swर्ण Jayanti, Bhatnagar Awardee, who are getting extra honorarium. So we are not considering them, but then besides that, if you have completed good project in excellent grading, then we are also taking students for a meeting with Nobel laureates each year. This meeting is in Lindau, and this happens in cyclic order. 1 year physics, 1 year chemistry, 1 year medicine and biology. So earth science could come both as a part of physics and as a part of chemistry. We are targeting master student and early doctoral students. So I encourage that youngsters should consider participating in this meeting. Each year DST is taking about 30 to 40 students for such meeting. And idea is that you have 1 week interaction with the Nobel laureates. And this interaction is in 2 or 3 formats. Like in first format, for a couple of days, you are attending to the lectures given by them. Subsequently, you have informal interaction with Nobel laureates. And this informal interaction is in groups. So not only India, but maybe 3-4 country participant would be sitting with 1 Nobel laureates. And then you will interact with at least 10 Nobel laureates. You can choose with whom you would like to interact, and that option has to be given in advance. On the same line, we are also having Asian Science Camp. Now, Asian Science Camp, because Asia does not have so many Nobel laureates, so what we are doing is that we are doing it in Asian science luminaries. And we are organizing this meeting in different Asian cities. Just before COVID in 2019, Bangalore hosted, and this year it is being held in Korea. And we are taking students from KVPY and Inspire Awardee for this participation. We are also offering overseas opportunity to our students through bilateral programs, which I will explain to you a little later. But the idea is that here two institutions are connected for 3 years or 5 years, depending upon the project duration. And while faculty is connected, faculty keeps on chatting, talking, but it is a student who visits each other's laboratory. So this is also a good exposure to our students. Then we receive a lot of requests for participation in international seminars, symposia, schools being held outside. So we are supporting these things. In fact, because this is something very popular, I have listed all the agencies which are supporting such programs. Now, as far as SERB is concerned, we are considering support in two ways. If you are less than 35, we are taking care of your travel and your registration. If you are above 35, we are taking only providing you the travel part. Travel includes your ticket, your visa fees, your overseas medical insurance. Registration, we hope, takes care of your accommodation and food. But for senior fellows above 35, we presume that they will find. So we are not calling it complete support. It is kind of partial support. But then here, what we are expecting from you, we are not expecting a research project, but we are expecting you that your project, your paper is accepted by the international conference. And if you have got at least one prior paper published in a referee general, then your chances of getting it is very, very high. For faculty, we are looking at last 5 years, how they have been performing in last 5 years. We are also organizing Frontier of Science and Frontier of Engineering. And here idea is that we bring in group of young scientists. Let us say if we are doing it Frontier of Science, then physics, chemistry, geology, biology, mathematics, we put them together. And then for 3 days, they are virtually locked. And they are not having any senior guy with them. But after their discussions, they have to find out what kind of research they would like to do in time to come. So similarly, we are doing Frontier of Engineers. Right now, this program is only with 3 countries, Germany, UK, and US. Of course, we have received suggestions from other countries also that they would like to join this partnership, but we are a bit cautious. We could consider increasing them. Then we are also providing PhD placement or overseas visiting doctoral fellowship. Here, the idea is that we are considering PhD students primarily in 3rd year of their research for an overseas exposure of 3 to 6 months. Why we are considering 3rd year students? Because they are little away from submission and they already have a good idea of what their research questions are. They already have good idea what are the research practices and how they should conduct themselves. And main question is that this exposure should not deviate them from their PhD work plan. So it should be in sync. Currently, it is restricted and we are considering only UK, Japan, and we have recently added United States also. On the same line, but for mid-career researchers, we are providing international research experience program. And idea here is that those who are already employed, who are working in regular capacity, if they could be provided exposures in partner countries, this is open all over the world. And we are considering proposals that you should have acceptance from a partner institution and you could go and work there for 3 to 6 months. Then for youngsters who are recently employed and they would like to set up their laboratory, we are offering startup research grants. This is the first grant, just like National Postdoctoral Fellowship, but that is exclusively for those who are unemployed. This is for those who are already a regular faculty in any institutions. So that is the main difference, but overall scheme is same. And then we are also having core research grant. This is the one of the most popular program, and we receive nearly 50% of our all total projects under this thing. We are considering projects in all areas. Now, here the question is, what are we looking at when we are considering the projects? Is it main thing is you should prove in your proposal what is the novelty of science you are doing. So if you could establish that thing in your objectives, that makes referees interested to look forward. What are you going to do? The next thing is the work plan. It should be logical. And third thing is more important, capabilities. Now, how do our referee judge whether you are capable of delivering this project or not? They will go through your biodata. They will see what kind of work you have been doing, where you have been publishing, what is your area of strength. So if you are migrating from area 1 to area 2, it should be gradual. Also, I strongly recommend that if you feel that your publications are not that high, then you should look for collaboration. You should work with established researchers first, and that will set up the tone. And once you have completed a particular project and you have made some publications, made some patents, then you could submit independent projects. Also, when you are looking for a questions which you feel would require participation of some other faculty other than your own capabilities, you should look for collaborations. And then we have to see where are you working. So we are not comparing our premier institution with our state universities or scientific laboratories or NGOs. So we realize that where are you working, what kind of setup we have got, and considering those projects accordingly. We value what is the expected outcome. Is it knowledge generation? Is it development of new processes or development of a new product? And if you could explain that very clearly, that would help to drive what could be the project. Of course, financials are a very important part of the project. They are considered later. Scientific merit is the prime criteria for consideration of projects. We are encouraging participation of young researchers in each project. Then we also have a program that if you are working in an area which is socially relevant, and we have working in earth sciences. So in earth science, there are a lot of things which we can work for the society. So if you are doing anything like that, so there is another scheme. And here we are not only taking proposal from doctoral candidates holding PhD, but also from master degree, but they should be young. Then for the gender equality, we have brought in some programs, which is one of them is Kiran, which is also known for three parts: Women Scientist A, Women Scientist B, and Women Scientist C. And idea is that if there is a female researcher who have got a break in career, she could join us back. So she could go either for basic sciences or for research based for societal programs, or she want to become professional so that she can independently carry out her assignments. So these programs are addressed especially to those women researchers who have got break in career. We are giving Women Excellence Award also if women researchers get elected to any of the national academies, science academies, engineering academy, agricultural academy. So we are considering them for this Women Excellence Award. Recently, we have brought out another program called SERB Power. And this is in two ways. One in the way of grant and another in terms of fellowships. And here idea is if we could encourage emerging and eminent women researchers for individual centric and competitive mode of research. So we have brought in. So unlike the previous program, Women Scientists A, B, C, where we are looking for those women researchers who have got break-in career, here that condition is not there. So it is just to bring in gender equality in science. And the SERB fellowship is also provided to women researchers in fellowships, provided they are not receiving any other fellowships. This could be in addition to the regular income. Main thing is that they get a research grants, which is for a period of 2 years, could be extended. Then recently we have started a new program called Technology Transfer Award, and here we are supporting researchers who are taking their research to TRL level 5 and beyond. Now, if we go on technology readiness level TRL, then TRL 1, 2, 3 are considered basic research. 4, 5 are considered applied research. And beyond 5, we are going for development of prototype and final products, which could be commercialized. So if within an academic setup, you are doing something like that, then you could be considered for Technology Transfer Award. Then for those of our eminent scientists who have superannuated and are still continuing to work for scientific excellence or scientific leadership, we are considering National Science Chair Program. And here we are giving them research grant for 3 years, which are extendable as long as they are working with full motor. Then there are programs which are supporting socio-economic development. We are looking for how we could make cost-effective and affordable devices for elderly people, disabled people, how we could influence life of artisans living in difficult areas. So how new technologies could play a critical role in society we are looking for. And then we have a scheme called IRFA. Here we are working in high priority area. For example, recently we went through COVID. So how we could motivate and how we could bring in immediate money for research on COVID. So IRFA played a role, and then it could be for each year, it could be different priority, and we need to find out how we could support research in high priority areas, priority for that moment. And then we are also looking for out of box ideas who have scientific logic and who would like to bring some disruptions in the market. So these are concepts based on innovation and unproven hypothesis. There are chances of failure. So risk is, we are the risk sharing also. So we don't mind that if you succeed or you don't succeed, there is no limit here. And you can come for an idea which you would like to pursue. Then we have offered a fellowship called Vajra. This fellowship is primarily for those who are best in the global area, and we would like to invite them to come and work in India as adjunct faculty. So when this adjunct faculty or Vajra faculty comes to India, they get attached to one of the institutions, and then they could be here for 2 to 3 months. They could take research students, and when they go back, this research student could also go to their laboratories, so that interaction is continuous. And we are offering a very good remuneration to Vajra faculty, which is $15,000 in the first month and $10,000 in subsequent months. Now, while all these areas are open, we have targeted programs. Here, once again, there are several things for the art science community. For example, climate change is a subject of very high concern, and so is the carbon footprints. So we are looking for the solutions in these areas, and we would like to promote research. Water technology initiative is another major thing. And then you can look for implication of artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning in various activities of earth sciences. There are a lot of programs. So each program has got some major concern, and we are supporting it. All of these programs in mission mode. I will not like to say that these are not non-competitive. Even these programs are competitive, but then they are relatively less competitive as compared to open programs. Communication is a major area of focus, and we would like that if our researchers who have a knack of writing or make a presentations, if they could conduct some programs, audio video program, write books, write blogs to explain the common scientific happenings which our society sees all around us. So even various astronomical activities, subjects like hygiene, sanitations, issues of water, weather, climate change, disaster. So if we could communicate, then we could help in the science. We are also promoting industry relevant research. So here we are encouraging researchers that they may talk to industry, take challenges from there, and support could be 50% by the industry and 50% by the government. Now, coming to my own domain, India's international S&T engagement, we are working virtually with all the countries of the world, either directly or in a group. Directly means bilateral basis. So India to a given country. So we are supporting bilateral workshops. We are supporting projects, and we are inviting these projects from time to time. And you are most welcome to consider participation in these calls, which keep appearing on DST website time and again. My suggestion to researchers is don't wait for the call. You can start a dialogue as soon as you find a potential co-worker in any part of the world. Then you can check with us what kind of program we have with that country and when we are going to make the next call. In addition to bilateral program, we are participating in several multilateral and regional activity like Asian country, BRICS, European Union, Indian Ocean Rim country, non-aligned movement countries, the World Academy of Science. There are several platforms which are available for these corporations. And we are providing fellowship in some of the programs, workshop or networking opportunities are there, frontier of science, frontier of engineering, as I mentioned, those kind of things are there. We are providing research support. We are providing industrial research and development support to some of them. Then we are also providing support for creation of scientific infrastructure. Now here we are considering proposals when it comes to college from the college and when it comes to university from the departments. And idea is if you are engaged in teaching and research at UG and PG level, you could be considered for support. And this support is gradational. You have to pass levels, various levels, and we would provide support for scientific research you would like to do using some of the equipment you would like to buy out of this grant. Remember one thing, we are expecting that participating department or college need to provide accommodation or civil infrastructure for such equipment. We have got special packages for Jammu and Kashmir, Northeast and Bihar, and then also a special package for women universities and those university which is having high H factor. We are encouraging organization to develop innovation and entrepreneurship centers so that their students could try out their ideas. So if they could incubate them, if they could promote entrepreneurship spirit. Then we are also offering incoming fellowships to various researchers to come and work in India. So here institution can make use of these opportunities they could work with them. C.V. Raman Fellowship provides opportunity for African researchers to come here for a period of a month to 6 months. India S&T Fellowship provides them an opportunity from our neighborhood countries for 3 to 6 months. When I say neighborhood country, we are excluding our northern and western neighbor. We are providing Asian fellowships, so which is again for Asian researchers, providing full PhD support for African researchers. Then, in addition, we are providing support for organization of seminars, symposia. Now, this is not total, this is partial support. And if you are organizing, we could consider picking 1 or 2 budget heads. On the same line, we are also providing international bilateral exhibition and support. And here, idea is that travel is taken care of by the sending side, and receiving side provide the local hospital. As a part of technology diplomacy, India is offering help to countries which are not at par as far as S&T development is concerned with India. So we are offering countries in Africa, country in our neighborhood, country in Asian region, support in terms of organization of how we could guide them in development of the infrastructures, organizing a special summer or winter school or training program, and also considering their faculty development. Now, coming to the last part, what are we are going to put our focus on, and where the new Indian investment in science and technology would focus. We are considering cyber physical system, electric mobility, quantum science, clean fuels, and high resolution maps. Now, it does not mean that we are not, we are reducing other areas out of our network. All other areas which are being supported would continue to be supported, but this would be the new investment which we are planning, and we would be putting a lot of efforts. We have recently introduced scientific social responsibility, which is on line with corporate social responsibility. Like there, you are asked, companies are asked to share part of their results, part of their profits for some good works. Here we are suggesting that you should know how to share your knowledge. You could mentor, train, and you could foster research cultures. You could go for public outreach. So those kind of activities we are recommending under scientific social responsibility. In near future, we are going to take incubation to a next level, and we are hoping an escalation of by a factor of 10. Also, we are launching a special program for school students. Already we are covering 5 lakh students, 5 lakh schools. So each year we get about 1 million ideas. But now we are trying that if this scheme could also be enhanced. We are putting a lot of focus on science communications. Already we have brought in DD Science, Doordarshan Science channel, which is on OTT platform. But even on regular DD channel, DD1, you could see DD Science for 1 hour, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. every day. After I have already talked to you, India Science and Technology portal, it encourages individuals to send their success stories, which we would be too happy to publish. We have also started translating Wikipedia science pages in Indian languages. And already we have done 50 lakh articles. What we have done, we have gone through machine translation, which is vetted by expert, and then they read, orient, and develop India-centric content for these Indian pages, pages in Indian languages. So with this, I would like to close, and I would be too happy to take your questions.
First of all, Varshneji, my sincere thanks for accepting our request, and very well explained. I really felt that there is no segment of society, scientific society, which is not taken care. In fact, I have always believed that government gives enough opportunities for those who work. And after your talk, there is no section which is left untouched, whether he is retired, whether he is young, whether he is scholar, whether it's a woman. I can't think whether it is Asian countries or whether Europe. So a person who is working, I'm sure government is giving. In fact, I have been some of the beneficiary of some of the schemes for international travel also. So I think this lecture is very useful. I only feel sorry that somebody played mischief. So we had to generate another link. Otherwise, we would have had a lot of scholars. But I don't know, one person did the problem and we had to regenerate, but we will share the video with them. Thank you very much. Now I request the younger people, especially the young research scholars, to ask questions to sir if they have anything in their minds. Thank you, Varshniji.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions or anyway motivated to apply for some programs?
I would be happy if I could motivate.
Sir, I would like to mention,
Yeah, please.
after listing your programs and all the schemes, I mentioned in the beginning that we lack opportunities and funds. Now I'm sure there's no lack from DST side. Only our part is to approach you and get benefited to the maximum. So it's our part to take step towards you.
Yeah, thank you, Ruby. And I would recommend that all of you should not only watch, because you are from, this is Earth Science Group. So
Right.
not only us, but there are schemes being offered by Ministry of Earth Sciences, by Department of Space, by Department of Jal Shakti, which also should be explored, and also by Ministry of Mines. So there
Yes.
are several other opportunities by the central government institutions which should be explored. And I'm sure you will find that government keeps on thinking how to encourage researchers, but everywhere question comes that we are a very huge country, and competition is automatic, because whatever scheme you plan, you can allocate limited amount of funds. So you need to stand high on merit, scientific merit. One thing I would like to assure all the community, that none of these proposals government has any role. Scientists develop these proposals, another group of scientists evaluate, and we are just a facilitator. So it's a process which is totally scientifically driven, and we help or we facilitate the research on behalf of the government.
Right.
Any more questions?
I think, sir, we can ask questions in the email or the chat, then we can send it to
please,
sir.
Yeah, please. If anybody has, please welcome. Sir, one thing is there, government does enough. If you want to do, there is some way to make some contribution. Certainly. Devinder, if there is no questions, you can thank sir, maybe.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
A very good evening to all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks for today's webinar. Respected members, on behalf of GSI Delhi chapter, I, Dr. Devinder Mudgil, express my deep sense of gratitude to Dr. S.K. Vasne for this wonderful and enlightening presentation about the research funding opportunities from DST and SERB. Thank you for sharing the vision of DST for research and sharing knowledge about individual and institutional level grants, sir. And I was quite amazed to know there are so many opportunities for the young researcher as well as the mid-career researcher or the faculty. And thank you very much, sir. We are sincerely thanks Professor Harsh Gupta, President, Geological Society of India, Dr. Bansal, Vice President GSI, Dr. Godavari, Dr. Rajendran, and all esteemed members of GSI India for their continuous support and the encouragement. We are thankful to Professor R. Bhaskar, President, GSI Delhi chapter, for motivation and bringing this platform for budding researcher, faculty members, where we can interact with luminaries from the geology and other scientific backgrounds. Thanks are also due to all the office bearers of Delhi chapter for extending their help in hosting these webinars. Last but not the least, we are also thankful to all the participants for their patient listening interactive and brainstorming sessions in these webinars, and also making this webinar a success. We will try to deliver such brain stimulating talks, webinars in future also. So kindly stay tuned via our social media pages. Recording of all these webinars and previous webinars will be available soon on these platforms. With these words, I am signing off. Thank you very much for being with us. Happy weekend to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Devinder, you can just stop the recording. I want to ask Varshini sir one